So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen, I'm back. And we about to dive back into these drones that's about to take over the world. You know what I'm saying? If you look up in the sky, you see a bird. It might not be a bird, might be a drone, bro. You really gotta be alert these days, man. But you ain't gotta believe me. Just do a little Google search, man. Look at some of the pictures of what some of these drones can possibly look like. All right? It's getting crazy out here, man. And I'm just trying to warn you, that's it. So if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna check out. If the drone didn't capture this, no one would believe it. Here we go.
Drones are one of the most amazing, but also sometimes scariest inventions of all time. A whole sky full of flying robots which can film or kill you with deadly accuracy wherever you are. Cool, I guess. Thanks for that, science. Anyway, when they're used for good stuff, they can capture images of the most incredible events on our planet. From drone which filmed its own demise, to the drone which saved a family from sharks, here's the 20 scariest things caught by drones. Number 20. Crocodile snatches drone right out of the sky in Australia. When a snappy croc swooped in for its close-up, swiping the drone out of midair, an ABC News Australia crew was busy filming crocodiles in their natural habitat. The filmmakers assumed the drone was lost forever, but it was discovered to...
Yo, a lot of people don't be knowing that crocs could come out of the water like that, bro. If you watch like some of those shows like Swamp People and stuff like that, when they used to tie the chicken up, it wouldn't be in the water, it'd be up. So they would come out the water and get it, bro. Like, a lot of people don't know the crocs got hops. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Weeks later when it washed up on the beach. The wrecked drone was covered with bite marks, but the incredible footage was saved. These documentary filmmakers got an up-close view of the animal kingdom's most powerful bite while filming in an Australian lagoon. According to a research done by paleobiologist Gregory M. Erickson in 2012, salties have the greatest biting force in the world and can snap their gigantic jaws shut with an amazing 3,700 pounds per square inch. He measured the biting pressure of every crocodilian species, and it came as no surprise that the big saltwater crocodiles came out on top. But exactly how strong their bite is has astounded biologists, as it is suspected that they can go much harder, maybe up to 4,000 psi. To give you an idea, a person can exert roughly 160 psi of pressure when ripping into a piece of steak. Crocs have such a well-designed biting head that it hasn't altered much in 85 million years, and the strength of their bite is determined by their body size rather than changes in jaw form, as is the case with many other species. This implies that the salty's bite could be comparable to that of a T-Rex. Any drones that end up in its jaws are totally doomed. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Time for the rare topic. In this image, a drone was flying around a town in Brazil that's a little off the beaten track. The drone pilot thought he saw someone up on a balcony there after flying around a long time through the abandoned town. So he went to check it out, but it turned out to be a terrifying part-human monster with its head on backwards. Apparently, it got on its bike and chased the drone for a
That's a weird blow-up, dog. That ain't real. That ain't
while before giving up. If the drone didn't capture this, no one would believe it. The guy never flew his drone over that town again. What do you think this creature is? Why was this mystery town in Brazil abandoned? Remember to comment down below with the hashtag rare topic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. And now, to the next topic. Number 19. Shark filmed circling surfers at Plettenberg Bay, South Africa. as he witnessed a massive white pointer swim beneath surfers in South Africa's Western Cape area. A 14-year-old drone pilot says he feared the worst when the shark glided into view. Zach Berman, an aspiring wildlife drone photographer, claimed he was watching shark activity with his father near Plettenberg Bay. At first, I was struggling to comprehend what I was seeing, he said. It began to make its way towards the surfers and I feared for the worst. I really didn't know what was going to happen. The shark was only inspecting a possible food source. It displayed no signs of aggressiveness once it understood the surfers weren't seals or other natural prey. Fortunately for those guys, because look at how big this shark is. If he wanted to, he could have eaten all of them.
They couldn't have got away fast enough. They could, if he wanted them, he had them. Simple and plain. Food time if he wanted it. You know what I mean? Like, that's scary.
But he was cool, merely curious. Shark attacks are prevalent waters or other circumstances that impair the shark's senses. The flavor of humans appears to be unpleasant, or at least strange, to the species. In one bite, they can determine whether or not an object is worth predating on, according to recent studies. Humans are, in general, too bony for them to enjoy. Seals are popular because they are plump and full of protein. Also, they don't show up on surfboard. Number 18. Loch Ness Monster captured on drone footage by wild camper in Scotland. A wild camper was taken aback when he discovered the Loch Ness Monster in his 4K drone footage after eagle-eyed viewers discovered a weird creature in the water. Richard Maver couldn't believe the footage he'd recorded. In August, the 54-year-old pilot was taking footage for his YouTube channel, Richard Outdoors, where he captured the person swimming on the loch's banks by chance. During the shooting, he was taking part in the Great Glen Canoe Challenge for Alzheimer's Society with pals. Richard said that he didn't see the strange figure in the water until viewers began to react to the video.
And y'all wonder why I say stay out of the water.
He said, "I couldn't believe it. I had to rewind the footage several times and have watched it several times since. I don't know what it is, but it certainly has the same shape as previous sightings of Nessie. The more I watch it, I think, crikey, there really wasn't anything in the area that could be. There was no driftwood or anything like that, so who knows. We had just parked up and I thought I would get some nice shots on the beach for my YouTube. Large, long-necked, and with one or more humps protruding from the water, the Loch Ness Monster is frequently discussed. Since it was first brought to public light in 1933, public interest and belief in the creature has fluctuated. A handful of contested images and sonar data provide anecdotal evidence of its existence. The Loch Ness Monster is regarded by scientists as a non-biological phenomena, with sightings being attributed to hoaxes, wishful thinking, and misidentification of everyday things. But what do you think? Is this finally the proof? Number 17. Drone captures aerial view of huge fire at Houston warehouse. In May 2016, firefighters were called to a Houston school after a 4-alarm fire broke out at the warehouse in the Spring Branch area. According to the KHOU, the Houston...
That's a bad day right there, bro. I think I've seen this one clip before, but that's a bad day. Look at that. Look at the smoke. Look at the color of the smoke. How much fire you got, bro. That's strictly surround and drown, go defensive.
Houston Fire Department advised neighboring people to remain in place and avoid fleeing as a fire spread through a chemical storage facility.
You could tell it's chemicals. Look how dark and black that smoke is, bro. You don't want to breathe none of that in. Fam, hopefully everybody got out.
The 4-alarm fire broke out in the rear of a residence that acted as an auto service firm just before 10 a.m., according to Houston fire authorities. The fire spread to custom packaging and filling, a gun shop, and many other businesses on the 1700 block of Laverne Drive.
Oh man, it said it hit a gun shop. Bro, I'm telling y'all, that's one of the scariest things to be putting out as a fire because them bullets, man, they be popping off It'll mess you up, man.
Multiple explosions could be observed emanating from one of the complex's buildings. Custom Packaging bills itself as the leader chemical contract packager, specialized in excellent service for all sorts of customers, according to its website. The structure houses petroleum and insecticides, according to officials. What other compounds were within it is unknown. They were waiting for property owners to identify the flammable items. Winds were a problem in suppressing the fire, according to Office of Emergency Management Chief Rick Flanagan. 175 firemen from 64 Houston Fire Department units were on the site combating the fires, according to the Houston Fire Department. Number 16. Angry farmer shoots down drone hovering over his garden. An Englishman's home is his castle, they say, and this Englishman went old school on a drone flying over his farm, blowing it out of the air once it encroached on his property. An apparently harmless flight to capture the beauty of the English countryside was unexpectedly cut short by an enraged farmer who was clearly not amused by this flying invader. The farmer appears to be armed at this point in time for whatever reason. Perhaps he had already heard the drones buzzing, and as you can see in the video, the farmer, who was dressed in long sleeve and vest, can be seen half running towards his target, quickly taking aim, but not before angrily tossing his hat to the side to bolster the belief that he was completely furious with the unwanted guest, and without hesitation pulled the trigger and managed to destroy the drone with one shot. Although the drone looks to have crashed, its internal camera was unharmed, allowing it to catch the spectacular incident as it plummeted from the sky and into the thicket. It's clear what will happen next. One thing is certain, the drone operator has intruded into someone else's castle and made it out alive. Just. Number 15. Bird swallowed at Lake Berryessa. The footage of a bird being swallowed by the enormous sewer at Lake Berryessa has gone viral all around the world. A bird falling into the Bellmouth.
It looked like he wasn't panicking, so it looked like he was here for that ride. He looked like he was ready to have fun. He just chilling.
Spillway does not appear to have a chance of surviving, according to Rick Fowler, a technician with the Solano County Water Agency. He witnessed the incident. It turned out that the bird was a cormorant, not a duck. Fowler said he raced to the other end of the spillway after seeing the bird go down the drain and watched it shoot out the other end. Others have voiced misgivings, but Fowler is confident that the duck survived the 200-foot drop. Several
I would have bet money that he survived it. Look, he wasn't trying to fly, and it was like he was caught. He wasn't flapping his wings and nothing like that. I bet he did survive.
Cormorants were spotted in Lake Berryessa on Thursday, but it's impossible to know if the internet sensation was among them. After a minute it flew and landed down the creek shaking its head, Fowler said. It was coming to its senses. It got shot out relatively quick. Cormorants range in size from medium to large. All species are fish eaters diving from the surface to obtain their meal. They are good divers, propelling themselves underwater with their feet and wings. Certain cormorant species have been discovered to dive to depths of 45 meters. They have the shortest wings of any flying bird, owing to their necessity for efficient underwater mobility. As a result, they have the greatest flight cost of any flying species. Cormorants build their nests and colonies along the water's edge, on trees, islands, and cliffs. They are coastal birds, not marine birds, and some have established colonies in interior waterways. Cormorants are said to have descended from a freshwater bird. Except for the islands in the Central Pacific, they may be found all across the planet. Number 14. Drone captures millions of swarming bats. Karen Bledgewas, a bat researcher, has discovered a behavior in the little winged animals that will not only aid in her locating their difficult-to-find winter roosts, but will also throw light on habitat selection, hibernation time, and emergence.
The bigger question is, or questions is, what spooked them and where are they going? that'd be my first two questions, all right? What spooked that many bats? Where are they going? You know what I mean? I need to know what's going on where I'm at. Do I need to go to? I ain't never thought about following a bat, but they know something I don't.
It's known as swarming. Every fall, bats assemble near their roosting places, either for mating purposes or to educate young bats where to select a suitable hibernation spot. Swarming may bring up thoughts of bees or starlings buzzing around in a group, like a murky mass in the air. Bats in southeast Alaska, however, swarm in far smaller numbers than bats on the east coast. Nonetheless, for Bledgewas, a wildlife scientist with the Alaska Department of Fish and Game, the discovery was both surprising and exciting. This is cool because it opens up additional ways to find these winter roosts without having to tag and radio track bats, she said. There's a lot of activity through a good chunk of the night, and it's during the summer when bats are above ground. Researchers may set up cameras and bat detectors in environments they believe bats are utilizing as roosting spots because of this above-ground activity and because the time can be predicted. Then they sit back and wait for their tool to capture the activities of the night. Number 13. Drones sacrificed for spectacular volcano video. Here's a spectacular image from a volcano that could only have been captured by a drone. While I was perfectly aware of the danger, it was hard not to be mesmerized by the rare chance to experience the incredible energy of the Earth's underlying forces, says Sam Kosman, who found himself peering into the lava lake of a volcano in the South Pacific 1 month after quitting his tech job. One of only 7 permanent lava lakes in the world is found in Ambrim's crater Marum, which is located along the Ring of Fire in the Vanuatu archipelago. To defend himself from the 1,000-degree Fahrenheit temperatures and splattering molten rock, he wore a custom-built industrial proximity heat suit. The filmmaker and explorer was pursuing his ambition of employing cutting-edge technology to help in cutting-edge exploration. Watch his recent short film. As expedition leader, he put together a team that included climber and photographer Brad Ambrose, cameraman Connor Tumarkin, drone specialist Simon.
What's killing me is they ain't got no harnesses on. They not tied off to nothing that's far back. That way, if this edge of this rock starts to slide or fall, dip or something, they don't have anything to, you know what I'm saying, to catch them. They super brave though. Hats off to them.
Jardine and geobiologist Jeff Marlowe to build a first-of-its-kind 3D map of the volcano using drones. Unfortunately, not all of the drones made it out alive. However, the information gathered will aid scientists in better understanding volcanic activity. Number 12. Chernobyl. Drone footage reveals an abandoned city. On April 26, 1986, a nuclear power plant at Chernobyl, Ukraine collapsed catastrophically during a scheduled test of the turbine system. The reactor's power escalated out of control from a low power state, rapidly boiling water and causing a steam explosion that blasted the reactor's roof off. A graphite fire erupted, releasing dangerous radioactive elements into the atmosphere. The disaster took the lives of 31 people, and the resulting radiation is likely to have caused 4,000 more cancer deaths. Unfortunately, the Chernobyl reactor was designed in such a way that if bubbles formed in the water coolant passing past the fuel, it might get dangerously hot. Power instability began to appear when water began to boil in particular regions of the reactor. One of the operators saw the reactor's extremely unstable situation and pressed the button to shut it down by inserting the control rods. The control rods, on the other hand, had an even more serious design flaw. The steam pressure was so strong that it blew the reactor cover off and through the top of the reactor building. Due to the lack of cooling, the gasoline heated up and melted. The reactor's standing graphite rods burst into a roaring graphite fire, shooting poisonous fuel particles into the atmosphere. It took almost a week to put out the fire. Number 11. Drone captures tiger shark feeding frenzy on whale in Australia. A drone filmed a violent feeding frenzy by about 70 tiger sharks on a dead whale in Australia's Shark Bay, turning the—
Why would you even want to have your boat in that vicinity, bro? You know they're aggressive now because it's blood everywhere. They're hungry. They got food. It's a food source here. Like, I wouldn't chance my boat being there because something run into you, hit you in the water. At this point, you may get mistaken as food, bait.
Clean Seas Scarlet. On Friday, 2 boatloads of tourists were on their way to Western Australia's Dirk-Hartog Island when they stumbled upon the terrible scene. Eco Emerald Host Cruises, situated in Geraldton, launched a drone to capture nature in its natural state.
Like from that high up, they look like a bucket of minnow.
The sharks ripped the giant humpback whale carcass to shreds, leaving a trail of crimson water in their wake. The tiger shark is the sole living member of the genus Galeocerdo, which includes requiem sharks. It's a huge macropredator that can grow up to 5 meters long. Populations may be found in many tropical and temperate waters, particularly in the central Pacific Islands. The black stripes that run along its body, akin to a tiger's pattern, give it its name, although they diminish as the shark ages. Tiger sharks are nocturnal predators that hunt alone. Its prey includes crabs, fish, seals, birds, squid, turtles, sea snakes, dolphins, and even smaller sharks. It's also known as a junk eater since it eats a range of inedible man-made things that don't break down in its stomach. Killer whales occasionally hunt tiger sharks despite their rank as apex predators. As a result of human finning and fishing, it is designated a near-threatened species. Despite the fact that sharks seldom bite humans, the tiger shark is one of the most hazardous shark species and is suspected to be responsible for a substantial percentage of fatal shark attacks. Number 10. Black-Eyed Girl Cannock Chase Ghost. A crew of Ghostbusters claimed to have captured the black-eyed child of Cannock Chase on tape after 6 hours.
I'm about sick of her.
Of searching for paranormal activity. After setting up their cameras in Cannock Chase, Staffordshire, the crew trawled the area in hopes of capturing a ghostly apparition on film. The group now claims to have completed its task and claims to have proof to back up their claims. It looks like a child dressed in white. You can see the legs moving as if it walks, said Tom Buckmaster, who filmed the footage. I didn't even know I had captured the ghost until I went over the footage and thought, what the hell was that? In the foggy image in the distance, a little white form can be seen, which appears to be several meters away from the camera. This is the most impressive visual proof we've ever received, Tom stated. The recording was placed in Cannock Chase on October 10th at around 7 p.m. The black-eyed child became an internet sensation after reports that it had been seen in Cannock Chase for the first time in
Yes, she is an internet sensation. Every drone video we've checked out have had some form of this clip in there. You know what I'm saying?
30 years. Some witnesses say the child laughs and pleads for help, and that he or she may have died in a workhouse and been buried in an unmarked grave. Number 9. Drone captures our escape from a flash flood while hiking in Maui, Hawaii. Flooding in Maui, Hawaii, or anywhere else is no laughing matter. Every year in Hawaii, unaware hikers are maimed or killed by streams that change into raging rivers without warning. As shown in this drone footage, several pals swiftly rush to safety, while one of their friends gets washed away by the raging stream at the top of the 30-foot waterfall. Here's how it works. This trek, dubbed the Commando Hike because it takes great physical skill to negotiate the creek and caverns, is popular in guidebooks and by word of mouth, although it is extremely dangerous. The issue is that it might be raining upstream even if it isn't pouring where you are. These guests were extremely lucky to survive the ordeal relatively unhurt, albeit they, along with 6 others, were airlifted to safety by a helicopter. With 727.2 square miles, Maui is the second largest of the Hawaiian Islands. Maui's varied landscapes are the consequences of a rare mix of geology, topography, and climate. Each of the Hawaiian Islands' volcanic cones is made up of black, iron-rich / quartz-poor rocks that poured out of hundreds of vents as extremely fluid lava over millions of years. Several of the volcanoes were near enough to overlap their side lava flows, resulting in the formation of a single island. Number 8. Drone captured the lava inching its way towards Leilani Estates. Kilauea, one of Hawaii's most active volcanoes, erupted recently, spilling lava and steam onto a neighboring residential community and prompted authorities to issue an evacuation order. The American Red Cross built 2 shelters in the Puna section of the Big Island to house evacuees from the Leilani Estates and Lanipuna Gardens communities. The number of persons affected by Thursday's evacuation order is unknown, but according to the Associated Press, Leilani Estates has a population of around 1,500 people, according to 2010 census data. Dramatic footage taken near the suburbs showed red lava and steam erupting from earth fissures on highways and flowing into a forest. It is historically the most active of the 5 volcanoes that make up Hawaii's Big Island. The volcano, which is located along the island's southeastern shore, is between 210,000 and 280,000 years old and rose above sea level around 100,000 years ago. On September 29, 2021, it erupted. It's the Hawaiian hotspot's second youngest product and the present eruptive core of the Hawaiian Emperor seamount chain. In September, multiple vents within Halemaumau began to release lava, signaling the start of a fresh eruption. Number 7. Cornfield clown found with drone. Telly Lopez of Huntsville, Alabama was flying his drone over a cornfield when he came upon an unexpected visitor, a clown. The orange-haired individual, who appears approximately a minute into the video before discovering the drone and fleeing into a nearby forested area, is impossible to miss. The video might be a scam, but even if it isn't, the clip proves that clowns are terrifying. Clown sightings in 2016 were stories of persons dressed as malevolent clowns in unusual places, such as near woods and schools. Since August 2016, instances have been recorded in the United States, Canada, and other nations and territories.
I was just saying, what was it, the other day? That's why I won't buy like a clown suit for Halloween or nothing, fam. They have such a negative representation now that you could put one on and somebody have a phobia or have something done to them by somebody in a clown suit in the woods, that they might try to take you out, fam. They might just try to take you out. So yeah, they got a negative thing around them now that I wouldn't even buy my kids one for Halloween. Like, real talk, seriously.
The initial sightings were recorded in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in what turned out to be a horror film marketing gimmick. Later, the tendency expanded to many more cities across the United States. Clown sightings and assaults had been recorded in virtually every state in the United States, 9 of Canada's 13 provinces and territories, and 18 other countries by mid-October 2016. Since 2013, several sightings of persons dressed as clowns in strange or incongruous places have happened throughout the world, prior to the spate of instances in 2016. The distribution of videos and photographs of these prior sightings was aided by social media posts and viral content sharing. Number 6. Drone footage captures blue whale swimming near boat off San Diego coast. Drone footage recently caught a rare glimpse of a blue whale swimming close up to a tiny boat off the coast of San Diego. This season, Dominic Biagini, owner of Gone Whale Watching, says he's already seen blue whale sightings off the coast of San Diego. A whale swims close to his boat to examine before vanishing beneath the water's surface in one video he shot. This year is looking like much more of a normal year, Biagini said. I think this is really going to shape up to be a really good blue whale season. He goes on to say that the sightings are due to an abundance of krill and ideal circumstances. In coastal areas, blue whales usually follow where krill are swimming. If there is a lot of krill in the area, the whales will usually spend the entire summer there. Blue whale sightings come in waves, according to Biagini, but gray whale sightings are more consistent, making this season even more exciting for...
Like, from the drone footage, just seeing how big it is just amazing. Imagine being on that boat up close and personal. I definitely have that on my list to do, though. Whale watching, like that type of excursion, for real. I just, just got to work on getting out there. That's all. It's on my list, but it has like a asterisk by it. Yeah.
Whale watchers, and according to Biagini, whale viewing might be a safe alternative to sightseeing this summer. He claims he's now doing private charters, so gatherings are limited to single dwelling unit sizes, and there's plenty of room to spread around. Number 5. Drone captures man sunbathing on wind turbine. Even 175 feet in the air, a Benedictine monk who teaches at a private Rhode Island school, has realized that finding isolation is difficult. A drone swooped in on Brother Joseph Byron while he was lounging atop the Portsmouth Abbey School's wind turbine, as he regularly does. The drone captured video of Byron sprawled across the flat surface of the turbine, with views of Narragansett Bay in the backdrop. This week, the footage was made public. Following the release of the video, Byron noted that alumni he hasn't heard from in years are calling him. He claims he was first intrigued by the drone, but became irritated as it zipped by a second
He don't even have, the lady had a harness on. He didn't even have nothing to tie off to.
time. Byron claims that he climbs the turbine, which was built in 2006, for the view. It's not scary, it is peaceful, and the views of the bay are spectacular, he told the Providence Journal. I have no fear of heights. It was a little annoying, Byron said to the publication. It seems you cannot go anywhere to get away anymore. Number 4. Drone captures sinking of 180-degree cargo ship Voici Bernadette. The Voici Bernadette sinks after being packed with weight, as shown in this spectacular footage recorded by a drone. It is being escorted to its final destination by 2 tugboats before being sunk as part of the original plan. Her stability was unbalanced by the crew pouring water into her hull from other ships. The ship can be seen leaning to the port side and sinking deep into the seas, aided by the penetrations in her hull that were created deliberately to help the sinking. The Bernadette completed her farewell journey to the sea on June 23rd, with a lot of help from many groups/agencies, including MMPS Environmental, McCully Marine Services, Coastal Conservation Association of Florida, and many more. She is presently submerged in around 100
Y'all saw those center blocks in there? Like, they sunk that ship mafia style, you know what I'm saying?
feet of water, about due east of the St. Lucie nuclear power plant in Jensen Beach, Florida. The Bernadette will be the Treasure Coast's newest artificial reef wreck, providing habitat for marine creatures, while also helping to support the local economy through tourism, fishing, and diving. Number 3. Absolutely insane drone footage of Oklahoma tornado. A tornado chaser in Oklahoma used his drone to take fantastic footage of the spectacular meteorological phenomena, providing a fresh viewpoint on the incredible weather phenomenon. Brandon Clement was pursuing a tornado in Sulphur, Oklahoma, when he launched his drone to chase it over the terrain, taking spectacular images and following it until it dissipated. Clement's meteorological and flying talents are particularly impressive, as the wind surrounding a major storm is both complicated and powerful, and a little drone might easily be overwhelmed if the pilot strayed into the wrong location. The film is reminiscent of the 1986 Brooklyn Park tornado, when CARE helicopter pilot Max Messimer and photographer Tom Empey discovered a growing tornado and broadcast the whole event live on the 5 o'clock news in what would become unparalleled imagery both scientifically and dramatically. This is just amazing. Number 2. Raven attack.
That's the only way I want to see a tornado, though, for real.
Drone delivering coffee. A drone delivery business in Canberra, Australia, has had to deal with ravens protecting their nests, attacking their drones. Since 2019, Wing, a subsidiary of Alphabet, has been delivering everything from coffee to
I thought I had dropped the coffee. I was about to say, yo, I'd be pissed.
medicine to office supplies to Canberra residents. However, following multiple complaints of ravens swooping down on its drones, it declared that deliveries to a portion of the city will be halted, according to the Canberra Times. This comes as a result of Canberra's continuing coronavirus lockdown, which is driving up demand for drone deliveries. Number 1. Drone captures brave farmer try to save his farm from fire in Weld County field. A thunderstorm triggered many significant fires in rural Weld County, Colorado, a few years ago when lightning hit. The flames soon spread, consuming acre after acre of crops. The majority of residents were left with nothing to do but watch their harvests and source of income burn. Eric Howard, a local farmer, had a different take on the situation. Eric decided to take matters into his own hands when he witnessed the fields being consumed by fire. With his life on the line, he hopped on his tractor and attempted—
I was just about to say, he brave to be cutting that brake like that, because the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that wind can just shift that so quickly into his direction. You know what I'm saying? You need to be a professional at what you're doing, bro.
to preserve
I wouldn't advise anybody to do that.
as many crops as he could. A film team managed to record the brave farmer plowing up a fire break just a few feet from the blaze using his tractor and a pair of discs. Eric put his whole heart and soul into this incredibly perilous circumstance. He would have been trapped in the sea of fire if the wind had shifted direction. Fortunately, everything went smoothly, and Eric's valiant effort—
You know what I mean? He just repeated what I just said, bro. Like, I'm telling you, I know from experience, fam. When we used to call them out to cut a break, when we have a forest fire or something like that, I'm telling you, you get on there and tell 911 dispatcher to contact forestry and come out here. That's what they would go around doing, cut breaks. But it's still dangerous because the fire can jump those breaks.
Bert spared not just 30 acres of his own property, but also many acres of land belonging to others. For his bravery, this farmer deserves a medal. Have you ever captured—
Like I said, I wouldn't encourage anybody to do that. Like, if you're not trained, experienced, understand, paying attention to so many different factors that go into it, you got to be careful, bro. You gotta be. You know what I mean? But y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of this, man. Drones are always super fascinating to me, and just to be able to see things from like that tornado, like that gator, like, you know what I'm saying, up close and personal without the threat of your safety is super dope. So y'all get at me, let me know what you think, and stick around and stay tuned, man. Till next reaction, I'm gone. Peace.